a Saturday tailgating show here, breaking down some college football for Saturday. I got Legion of Picks is back to give his
Yes, sir.
thoughts on some games, and the original Walmart Wolverine of the Insiders Room, Rossman,
What?
is on the show. I had to get the first shot in there before he hit me.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, it's coming. Yeah,
And
it's
as
coming.
for people that don't know, obviously I'm a Michigan State grad, and Ross just roots for Michigan. So there we go. We got a big game this weekend, and it's kind of amazing that we both have ESPN game day and the Fox game day. They're both on campus this weekend for the show.
That is pretty strange. Is that the first time that's happened, or what?
I don't find the first time. I know it for it to happen.
Yeah.
So. All right, so let's get going right off the bat here. You both like something in the Texas Tech game. You both are looking at it from two different angles. So we'll start with you, Legion. You like the Texas Tech team total over 23.5.
Yeah, and the biggest reason I like this is only once this season they scored 23 points once. Every time past that, it's always been over that 23 mark here. Then they're going against Oklahoma's defense. They're not going to fix what we saw Kansas do to them in a week's time here. If they would have fixed their defense, it would have already been 3 games ago, okay? You can't just say, oh, they're going to fix defense after they should have lost against Kansas, honestly. And so I think Texas Tech, they're going to come out, and they might only score 10 points here in the first half. I'm thinking most of their points are going to be scored in the second half, especially if the defense is fixed in the first half of this game for OU, which I don't think it will be. I got Texas Tech scoring at least 27 to 30 points here. And to me, yeah, you got the news with the coach and things like that. Well, I don't really care about the coach because the person calling the plays is probably the offensive coordinator most of the time anyways in college. So I'm sure that guy's stepping up to be, ready to go for the coaching role here. And so I'm not going to be worried at all for Texas Tech to get over this threshold here. Especially, and then the other thing is, if OU does just blow away Texas Tech, say, there's going to be a lot of garbage points in that fourth quarter for Texas Tech. So that's another reason why I like the team total over 23.5.
All right, so yeah, Ross, it seems like you're kind of hoping that Legion's right here because you like Texas Tech in the points.
Yes. So, and I do think that Legion is right to take the over on Texas Tech total because I believe that I see this game probably Oklahoma's going to win. I mean, I don't think that's a concern, but I do think that Texas Tech's going to manage to keep this one within probably 2 touchdowns, maybe somewhere sitting around 17 points, but I think they'll keep it within 19. This is one of those matchups where Oklahoma is definitely managing to play down to everybody. And so they're struggling to blow the doors off anybody. I mean, they're keeping so many of these games close. And this is also, I think, with losing the head coach, Wells, this is going to be kind of one of those almost X factors that you don't really expect. But I could see a team rallying around an interim coach, rallying around a new coach, kind of like an Ed Orgeron thing, where they end up rallying around them and it works. And that's not going to be enough to beat Oklahoma, not by any means, but Oklahoma has managed to play down to everybody and keep these games. I mean, hell, they should have lost to Kansas. And we're talking about Kansas, for God's sakes. So
worse in the Big 12.
Yeah. So, and Texas Tech is going to be able to put up more points. They have way more talent than Kansas. So I look for this one to stay a closer game. But, I mean, Oklahoma's going to win, but Texas Tech's going to keep it within 19.
All right, sounds good there. All right, Legion, you're staying out west here with Wyoming. You like Wyoming on the money line?
Yeah, and I mean the safer play is the points here, but the point spread came down from like +5 or 6, and then it's gone down to +3. Wyoming's going to be playing a new quarterback here. They're going against San Jose State. They're both bottom of the conference, both these teams here. I think Wyoming has a better rushing attack. And with the new quarterback here, that's going to definitely help set him up for hopefully some play action in this game. And I just got to believe the fire's got to be lit underneath this Wyoming team that had a little bit higher hopes than what has performed so far this year, in my opinion. And so you take them on the money line here for plus 130. I think it's definitely worth it. Yeah, we missed the points at the plus 5 or 6 earlier in the week. We had to get on that like a week ago or so. So yeah, I can understand if you wanted to take the plus 3, but if I'm going to take on a coin flip game, give me the plus money every time. So
there you go. All right, so Ross, you like one of your plays this week is going to be a total here. You like the total in the Kansas-Oklahoma State game, and you're going over the 54.5.
I do, and this is so Oklahoma State themselves. I mean, in their games, they've only gone over 54.5 one time. Kansas, though, has gone over 54.5 6 out of 7 times. And the way I'm looking at this one right now, damn dog, is Oklahoma State is coming off of a loss. If they want to make any moves, they're going to have to start beating people handily. And they're going to have to start putting up points. I mean, this is going to be kind of like what I talked about last week with Ohio State. And it ended up, kind of coming true is, when teams get put in that position when they have a loss, but they still think that they have something to hope for, the way college is set up now, they need to just destroy teams. They need to throw up a ton of points. Oklahoma State's going to be in a position right now where they're going to try to probably run up the score. They're going to try to put some points on there, and Kansas can't stop anybody. But Kansas might be able to score a little bit. And like I said, 6 out of 7 of Kansas's games have finished 54 or over 54.5. Oklahoma State's they're going to put up some points on this one. So I just kind of look at this as being more of the situation that Oklahoma State is in now. It kind of requires them to have to go for that mark.
All right. So Ross, we'll go with your last game here. You had no faith in Wisconsin as a 3.5 point favorite last week against Purdue when this came up. Well, to be honest, neither did I. And they just came out and basically stomped Purdue into the ground. And you still don't believe in Wisconsin, it looks like this week.
I don't.
He's still favoring Wisconsin.
So you're going with the Iowa plus the 3.5 in this one.
Iowa is still a better team than what happened against Purdue. Iowa is still a better team. I mean, yeah, granted they snuck out a win against Penn State, but here come to find out Penn State couldn't even beat Illinois, so took them 9 overtimes. So, I still don't have a lot of love for Wisconsin, even with what they did to Purdue. Iowa is the better team. I truly believe Iowa is the better team, whether it's at Wisconsin or not, doesn't matter to me. So with Iowa getting points here, I think I believe Iowa's going to win. So if they're going to give me the points, I'm going to take them.
All right, sounds good. Hopefully it turns out better than last week because I was with you. Why is this line what it is? And there's a reason.
The odds makers love that Wisconsin team, boy. That's what it is.
Well, I know they have all year, and
that's just it. I mean, they loved Wisconsin against Notre Dame. They loved Wisconsin against Michigan. I mean, there's plenty of record to show that loving Wisconsin doesn't mean anything, too. So I mean, I think it's literally a crapshoot. And they're like, oh, we're just going to keep loving on Wisconsin until eventually it becomes right. And they got one right with Purdue. I don't think they're going to have it right with Iowa.
All right, so Legion, your last game here. If I was putting this play up on covers or picks or pros or whatever, this would either be one of my code red or one of my code blue plays because these games are the ones that give you a heart attack, especially taking this Longhorns team that seems to choke away any game that they're in. But you're taking them plus the 3.5.
Yeah, I'm taking them plus 3.5, and it is scary, right? From what we've seen with the Longhorns last couple of games, losing to Oklahoma, being up 20 something, then being up against up 16 or 17 against Oklahoma State, back-to-back losses here. Now they're going against Baylor. I just, I'm still not a fan of Baylor at the end of the day. I looked at that Oklahoma State game. And I looked at that Iowa State game. Iowa came into town into Baylor, did some things here. Texas is way more offensive explosion power than Iowa State has. And so when I'm comparing those two games, I'm thinking, okay, well, Texas definitely has a chance to win this game outright as well, just like Iowa State did to Baylor. And Baylor, I mean, they're going to be tested a little bit. I think the defense is going to be ready to go for Texas more than it's been. And especially if the running game's getting going to be hot and it's going to get 100-plus running yards, I don't see how Baylor's going to keep up late in the game here. I think that their lineman's going to get tired out. And I'm still not a fan of that quarterback for Baylor. I think he's going to make a few mistakes here, and Texas is going to find a way to be up double digits and, get a win, get a real good win here. So I'm definitely taking the points in this one. I would love to take the money line, but from what we've seen from Texas, that kind of scares me off of the money line. So I'll just gladly take the points and, see. And I like I said, hopefully Texas will win by double digits here and, get this thing done because they're talking Baylor's like can still make it to the Big 12 championship game, this and that. I'm not buying into that. Who had Baylor ranked third or fourth, in the Big 12? Nobody really. So that's what I got to go with is good old Texas plus 3.5.
All right. Before we get into one last game, no official picks, but before we get into one last game, we have to talk about before we go off the air. We'll do a quick rundown. Ross likes Texas Tech plus the 19.5. Legion likes Texas Tech, but he likes the team total over 23.5 in that game. Legion is on Wyoming on the money line. Legion is rolling with the Longhorns, but plus 3.5, keeping his.
You don't sound so thrilled by that, Dan. For some reason, you don't have no confidence in that one.
Man, because I think I had Texas against Oklahoma, and I think I have to think I've had Texas. Yeah, no, I mean, but how can you have confidence in them?
I think Legion's right, though. I mean, I think Texas is also they're bound to have the pendulum swing the other way too. It's not like Texas has been playing bad ball. Texas has been playing great ball. They just
right. I agree.
And so. I kind of look at them as almost like a Nebraska right now. Nebraska and Texas are in very similar boats. They're not playing bad ball. They haven't had the greatest luck. Sometimes it's swinging the other way, but it's got to swing back the other way too. I think this is a good poised position for that to happen.
Yep.
So now you go with the do theory. Okay, well there we go. We'll throw them all out there and see what happens.
Sometimes you just got to pull something out of your ass, and it might work.
All right, Ross likes the over in the Kansas Oklahoma State game, and he still doesn't believe in Wisconsin after what they did to Purdue last week.
No, and don't believe in them.
And he's taking Iowa plus 3.5. All right, so you throw your 2 cents in this game also, Legion, but the only bad thing about the Michigan State game Saturday is it is at noon. I still don't understand why it's a noon kickoff for that game.
That's pretty sad.
I'll just if anybody needs to go.
The only thing you and I will agree on probably on this game.
And we'll agree that if anybody needs to get a hold of me for anything, it better be before 4:30 because after that I'll probably be in bed one way or the other.
Yeah, you're not going to hear from Dan in the afternoon.
Win or lose, I'll be in bed probably at 4:30.
There you go.
Well, as I showed you the other, because I've got the perfect thing. I was telling Ross about this. I got the perfect thing to start the morning at 11 a.m. I got these Pabst Blue Ribbon cold brew coffees that are 4.5%, 5%.
Yeah, there you go.
Those, then just roll right into the beer around kickoff, and there you go.
Yep.
All right. So, Ross, I'll let you go. I'll let you start off. Who do you like in this game? I know who you like, but this.
I like Michigan. I will tell you, I'm still a little undecided on what my bets are going to be, but kind of my keys to the game here are I think Michigan has the capabilities to keep Michigan State's running attack at bay, but that's going to open up the passing, and Michigan State has a serviceable quarterback like they haven't had in the past few years. They have a quarterback that's going to do a lot better. So, and same now, granted, Michigan's quarterback play hasn't been the greatest. He's more of just kind of a, just managed game manager.
That's right.
But with the running attack that even against teams, Michigan has said one thing: we're going to run the ball and you're not going to stop us. And so far, no one has stopped them. And so I look, at Michigan to continue that, but no one's going to run away with this game. This is going to be a close game. This may be a game that goes into overtime, and I hate those games because especially depending on what you're betting on, but this is going to be a hard-fought game. This is going to be a good game. Michigan State has a quarterback, though, so that's kind of my key to the game is going to be how does Michigan State's quarterback play.
All right. Well, I went to Walmart today. I was gonna buy a yellow I was gonna buy a Michigan hoodie, and I was just gonna start this show with the glasses on and with the look.
Oh, what was it? What do they call that? The surrender cobra or something?
Yeah, the surrender cobra. After, yeah, he dropped the snap. Just picked up by Jackson.
I was at that game.
And I'll tell this. I was living in Thailand at the time, so it was after a night out, and I get up early morning, watch the game, and Michigan State, their last 2-minute drive failed, and no lie, I turned the game off. And just wrote. Well, man, I was drunk, hung up. Still drunk, I think. I said, fuck it. Last minute and a half, yelling, swearing, throwing shit around the bedroom. Turned it off, rolled over, and I'm like, I gotta see what happened. And I rolled over, and it was like the final score was at top of ESPN. I'm like, what? And I watched the thing. I probably watched it 5 times over and over and over. Probably yelled louder and louder each time. They could piss the neighbors off, but hey, who cares? But
I was at that game in the end zone that it happened. I was in the other corner, so I'm in that end zone at the opposite corner, and I was so fucking mad. But yeah, that was that was something else.
Yeah, I think you're right about this. Here's the thing, Ross, and I don't know, I didn't think we'd be this good this year, so we'll probably get smoked Saturday.
Well, I guess Michigan would be either. I mean, realistically, we're looking at. I don't think anyone thought that this game was going to be a top 10 matchup this year.
No, exactly. I sure didn't.
But you're saying Michigan's got a serviceable or State's got a serviceable quarterback. Yeah, but we haven't needed a serviceable quarterback to beat you in years past. So hey, we've got a better chance now. No, I'm just saying. Here's the only thing. I think that's one. And Michigan has shown that they have given up. They have given up some big plays in the passing game on their defense. And State, that's one thing. State with those 2 wide receivers, they can get some big plays in the passing game. And you're right about the Michigan's running attack. And the last time I heard something about the great Michigan running back was with the little 1 yard croissant or Trousseau. The year they played Michigan, and that guy averaged like 1 yard on 30 carries or whatever.
So
yeah. Trousseau. But I think the nickname after that was like 1 yard croissant because I think he got like 1 yard on like 20 carries or something. So. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game, and I'm sure we'll be talking crap back and forth on Saturday during the game until one team gets up like 10, 14 points, and you probably won't hear from the other guy until the game gets close again.
I think I got this game 24-27. Michigan State covers, Michigan wins is kind of how I have it, unless some luck goes.
See, Ross, he's just trying to suck up to both of us.
No. That's just how I got this game from the models I look at, from the numbers I look at. You guys nailed it. I mean, the running back, for Michigan State is better than the running back for Michigan, but Michigan has more rushing yards on the ground because they go by committee, and their line is better from what I've seen. But Michigan State, I think they're going to need their running back to have some explosive play, so that's going to set up the quarterback there for those two receivers for Michigan State for some big plays. And then that's when, Michigan's going to be rallying behind, the defense, trying to get to these wide receivers here. And so if the wide receivers are going to have a career day, then, yeah, Michigan State could win this game outright. But I just can't see that happening here. I mean, and the other thing is whoever takes care of the football in this game is definitely going to win. Whoever wins that turnover battle, going to win the game. I mean, it's going to be that close. And I think more pressure is probably on Michigan State since it's at Michigan State, right? You got to think that those players have a little bit more pressure on them for sure than Michigan. Obviously, Michigan wants to win the game too, but I think there's more pressure when it's the home crowd, and we've seen this happen so many times in college football too, where it's the home crowd and you either buckle under the pressure or you thrive. So we'll see what this Michigan State team's all about under this pressure here. Because I'm sure this is the first game of the year that's going to be a packed house, right, to this capacity. So that's what's going to be interesting to watch in this game. And we'll know in the first probably quarter or half of play if Michigan State's a real team, the real deal this year, or if they're just the average team and they're lucky to be undefeated till Michigan stomps them. So we'll find out. So
that's perfectly well said, Legion. I love it.
Yeah.
But I look at all the pressures on Mr. Khaki Pants.
Well,
yes, not in this game. Not in this, because he's beat Michigan State. His pressure is Ohio State.
Come on. So now you're gonna throw Michigan State as a signature win when they suck. So this is a big game. It is a big game for Harbaugh because he doesn't have any this is a bigger game when they come in at 6-8 than when they come in at 7.
What is Harbaugh's record against ranked opponents? So that's one thing I didn't check. In this game, if he's actually good against ranked opponents or not. Off of memory, I think he's not.
It's not great.
Well, what are they? What is he? What is he? 0-6 to Ohio State. So right there,
Ohio State has been the problem. Yes, Ohio State has been the problem. They cannot get over that Ohio State hump. That's been horrible. I think they are. Yeah, they're 0-6. I think against Ohio State. So, I guess overall ranked teams' record's better, but
I was listening to ESPNU today, and I had New Heisel. I think it was today. It might have been. Yeah, it was today. I think it was after I left the store. That news, or before I went in there, I didn't talk to you when you came in because I forgot. I didn't know if you were coming in, and I forgot. But that new Heisel was on there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, after if he didn't even say if. I think he said when Michigan beats Michigan State, his agent ought to be going into the AD of Michigan and saying, I want my money back that I gave away last year to keep my job. He should do it before the Ohio State game. I'm thinking the AD, if he does it before the Ohio State game, the AD is going to say, well, why?
Hit the road.
Yeah, beat Ohio State first.
Yeah. They didn't. Yeah, there's been no signs and shirts made that says just beat Michigan State.
No, exactly.
It's all about beating Ohio State. Now, again, that does not discredit this game and this rivalry. This is an amazing game and an amazing rivalry. And, anyone that's been a part of it knows that. But it's just, as a Michigan, someone around the Michigan program, the big battle has been that Ohio State, getting that monkey off the back. Listen, even if we beat Ohio State this year, he's still 1-6. I mean, he's still just fucking horseshit against him anyway. But it's still, it'd be nice to be 1-6 rather than 0-7. But at the end of the day, I mean, this Michigan State game, this is it's a big game for both programs. As Mel Tucker, coming up with the Spartans, this would be a huge win for him if Michigan State can pull it off.
It looks like the last 10 wins, the last 10 games, it looks like Michigan has only won 4 of those games out of the last 10. So
But here's the thing: there's a small part of me, that almost hopes that Michigan State gets blown out in this game, just so we can stop all the Mel Tucker going to LSU chatter.
Yeah,
bring those expectations back down a little bit.
Yeah, bring them back down. Well, that's what they're saying now. But Franklin, since he lost to Illinois, he's like, oh yeah, no, maybe people like USC or LSU won't want him because he couldn't beat Illinois. I'm thinking, I mean, maybe if we get blown out in this game, maybe if we lose like the Michigan, Penn State, and Ohio State the last 3 games of the year, then people won't want him anymore.
I think you're stuck with Mel Tucker for a little bit, which is not a bad thing. He seems to be a good coach, but he has set the bar extremely high. So that is the one fear is if someone just beats the doors off of Michigan State, everyone's gonna be like, oh, this goddamn Mel Tucker, and it's like, really? Because he's done a pretty good job so far, and he's done great. So
maybe our quarterback next year could be Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, well,
he's going to be in the transfer protocol, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going somewhere.
Talking about that guy. I mean, you had your draft stock ladder. Going into this season, you're going to be a Heisman Trophy winner and this and that, and then he just comes out shit in the bed like no one believes. And I honestly up half that to those NIL deals. I really do. I really feel that he got, 2 cars, a couple $100,000, and he's just like, oh yeah, I'm the shit. Yeah. But then on the field, he's not the shit. He is shit, literally shit. Yeah, so it's like he's gonna have to get transferred in hopes that he gets one more season, right, to prove himself for NFL. But if he does prove himself, right, go somewhere, has a career season, do you really want him as a quarterback in the NFL? No. His work ethic, his mindset, I wouldn't want that guy at all, man. Hell no.
No, yeah, the baggage that he's bringing with him clearly isn't outweighing his talent. If he got benched for a freshman, who, by the way, that freshman is absolutely balling out right now. So, yeah. I mean, they made the right move.
Well, the reason why he didn't get benched for a while there was because that was the first quarterback that the coach of the Sooners actually recruited. That was his first recruit.
I got you.
That's his baby, right? That's his damn baby. I got to have my baby perform. But then at the end of the day, when your baby's not fucking performing and it's choking to death, you need to move on to the next baby.
Ego thing in there where it's like, hey, I can prove to you that I can do it with my guy. Oh, that's right. He sucks.
Yeah. And so I think that was the biggest. And so, after like 3 games there of the Sooners giving the coach shit and this and that and the whole town wanting Caleb and stuff, it's like, all right. And then they gave Caleb a shot and look what he did with it. Just ran away. And, no way was Rattler ever going to get that job back once Caleb took that game over in Texas. No way in my mind.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been real bad on the coach. If he would have came out the next game and said, oh, yeah, Rattler's the starter. Oh, shit, man. You would have had some pissed off fans down in Norman, boy, and some boosters saying, we're not donating to your ass right now.
Yeah, they'd have booed him out of town. Yeah. He needed to make the switch. But you're right. I mean, as soon as Caleb Williams came in and won that game, he cashed his own ticket to be the starter there. So
yep. No, he did. So it's just that defense is so terrible on the back end. I think they've only gotten like 2 interceptions, in all the games they've played so far this year. Their turnovers I think they're like second, worst in the Big 12 or third worst. I mean, it's pretty bad. You got a defense that's like that, you're just relying on offense, right? But we'll see. I mean, they'll probably go undefeated until they play Oklahoma State. And then that's the game we'll be at right then. And then it'll be a good day. Exactly. But we'll see what happens.
Is that the last regular season game of the year for them? Okay.
Yep. So it should be a good one anyway. So.
All right, guys. Good show. Good picks. We'll see what happens. And have you guys on next week for next week's games and close us off by saying go green.
Oh, go blue. Next week, someone's gonna be talking a whole lot of shit next week. And
you are correct there. Go blow. You got it.
Yeah.
See you guys later.